Chapter 1. How the hell did I get here? First and foremost, I need to apologize to all of the Karens out there. You see, I use the name Karen in my book as an example of the obnoxious, loud, horrible friend who always knows absolutely everything. I realize that many Karens are actually quite lovely people. So if the Karen in your life is sweet and wonderful, then simply substitute the name Karen with the name of a horrible person in your life. I'm sure you can think of someone. Also, I talk about the spiritual tools that you can use to help you recover from divorce. But if you're not a spiritual person, fear not. This book can still help you. You can simply choose to skip over those sections. It's none of my business if you go to hell. I'm totally kidding. I truly believe that everyone has to do what feels right for them. My ultimate advice is to take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Now you're probably wondering yourself, just what kind of book did I buy? Is this lady even going to help me? Well, relax. I am totally going to help you. I just have an unconventional way of doing things. I think humor is a great way to heal. I also like to think outside the box. Traditional wisdom is great, but have you seen any of those old psychologists giving advice lately? No, you haven't. There's a reason for that. They're all dead. And personally, I would rather get advice from someone who's still in the land of the living. There's that biting humor again. In all seriousness, though, this book is a mixture of the telling of my own story, along with practical and spiritual advice about how to recover after a breakup. At the end of each chapter, you will find many free tools that you can use to help you get your life back on track. And luckily for you, I have a lot of experience when it comes to life after divorce. If you wish to follow along with the exercises at the end of each chapter, then you will need a journal, or if you're cheap, regular paper will work, and something to write with, preferably ink and not your ex's blood. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this ride that we are taking together. At the end of our journey, you are going to feel so much better. Did I mention how lucky you are to have found me? Maybe you saw the title of the first chapter and thought, yeah, how exactly did I end up here? How did I end up being a single mom trying to find her way back from the abyss? You might be feeling very confused, sad, and maybe even downright pissed off. And who could blame you? You are going through a very traumatic experience, and there's no question about that. But one thing I know for certain is that if you are going to make it through this, you're going to make it and come out on the other side of this even better than you were when you started. Your life can be absolutely amazing if you just believe it can. I'm living proof that you will make it out of this mess and your life will be even better than it was beforehand because I did it and I know you will too. Just how did we end up becoming this divorced, disillusioned ball of self-pity? Why did this happen to us? The circumstances of your divorce may differ from mine, but that really doesn't matter. We are all experiencing the same pain and anguish. The fact is that most of us are set up for disillusions about love from a young age. Most of us learned unrealistic expectations about love when we were kids. When you were a little girl, you probably had visions of your future life and how perfect it would be. You would meet your Prince Charming. I bet you even dreamed of how he would sweep you off your feet. You envisioned your dream wedding and dream house. Your whole life was going to be amazing. You would have the perfect family who would pose for one of those portraits where everyone is in matching outfits. Am I right? Well, if I didn't describe this exactly the way you imagined it, I was probably close. We all had some sort of ivory tower fantasy growing up. And we can undoubtedly thank those awesome Disney movies or Barbie and Ken for that. Society has a way of making us feel pressured to get married as soon as we can. We just have to find that one true love. The problem with this is that we don't really know what we want when you're young. I know I thought I knew everything at 20 years old. I learned very quickly how wrong I was. Also, there isn't just one right person for us. We have many soulmates throughout our lives, and that is perfectly okay. I mean, who wouldn't want more people to love? So your life wasn't perfect. This probably wasn't how you imagined it would turn out at all. I'm sure you never imagined starting your life over with young children in tow. No one ever dreams of being a single parent when they get older. Have you ever heard of children playing divorce? This time I want to play the single mom. No, of course not. No one thinks, I think I would like to do the single most challenging thing in the entire world all by myself. And naturally, there's a reason you didn't dream of that. It's extremely difficult. I mean, who would be crazy enough to want to do that? Seriously, who? I know I didn't. No one ever imagines that a thing like this could happen to them. It's not something that we plan for. I was a child of divorce, and I always told myself that I would never get divorced. I would never put my own children through what I went through because I knew how hard it was for me. The sobering reality is that sometimes we can't prevent bad things from happening to us. We can't control every single thing that happens in life. We can do our very best and try our hardest, and things can still not work out the way we planned. You can't control what your partner does. You can only control yourself. I think the fact that we can't control everything in life is very frustrating for some people. How do we protect ourselves from being hurt if we can't control what happens to us? If we could walk around wrapped in bubble wrap, that would be great. The problem is you would look totally ridiculous and you would never be able to get anything done. Plus, you would miss out on all the good things in life, like getting hugs or back scratches. My point is that you can't control every situation in life, and you can't shelter yourself all of the time. Besides, even if you could keep out all of the bad stuff, you'd be keeping out the good stuff too. I mean, seriously, who doesn't love back scratches? For those of us with kids, here's another thing to consider. Even though your relationship didn't work out, I'm sure you had some great memories, and now you have some amazing children too. If you didn't take the risk and enter into that partnership, then you wouldn't have those beautiful faces to cherish. You may be hurting right now, but it's going to get better. You are going to heal from the pain of the emotional wounds because you are a tough, strong, beautiful badass. So you didn't choose this situation you're in. Or maybe you did, but I'm sure you didn't wish to choose this. You are in it in any case. You can't spend the rest of your life feeling sorry for yourself. Well, actually you can, but what kind of a life would that be? No one would want to be around you because you'd be a total bummer. Your friends would start saying things like, "Don't invite Becky, she's a hot mess, and she depresses everyone." You don't want that, do you? Take heart. There's some good news in all of this. You can survive. You are going to make it. You are a badass. There's nothing that you can't handle. In fact, one of my favorite books is called You Are a Badass. In it, author Jen Sincero says, "You are the only you that will ever be. You're kind of a big deal." And you know what? She's totally right. You're an amazing person. And you've survived so far, haven't you? You aren't huddled in a ball on the couch sobbing your eyes out, are you? You aren't, are you? Please tell me you aren't. If you are, please stop doing that. You are being a total bummer, and you're starting to depress me. Okay, you're not really a bummer. You will have your moments when you'll want to curl up on the couch and cry your eyes out. Go ahead and have your pity party, Debbie Downer. That is completely normal. You do have to get those emotions out. You just can't stay in that sad state forever. You must want to feel better and get on with your life. You bought this book, didn't you? Thank you so much for that, by the way. You're taking the necessary steps for you to heal and grow. You're a strong person and you will make it through this. It just takes time. Taking one baby step after another, you will discover that you can put your life back together again. Reading this book is the first step in the right direction. There's a song my mom used to sing called One Day at a Time. It really is true. You can make it if you take it one day or one step at a time. According to Kimmy Schmidt, the lead character in a show written by Tina Fey, You can make it through 10 seconds of anything. Just take it 10 seconds at a time. Even if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, it's all going to be okay. As Oscar Wilde once said, everything is going to be fine in the end. If it's not fine, it's not the end. You shouldn't worry because you are merely in the middle of your journey. You are not at the end yet. Life is all about the journey anyway, not just the destination. You've taken a little detour for now, but your destination still awaits you. My grandmother would just say, you simply took the scenic route. I bet that if you could see the end of your journey, you would be ecstatic at how well everything turned out. I saw another really awesome quote the other day. It said, just remember that broken crayons still color. I love that. You may feel a bit broken right now, but you will still color this world. You are still valuable. You're important, loved, and treasured. You are a child of God, the divine, your higher power, or whatever you want to call him or it, and you are so deeply loved. The world still needs you. You may be a broken crayon right now, but one day you will be a whole crayon again. When I was young, my cousin and I would melt our crayons over the heating vent in my grandma's house. My grandma was not thrilled with us, but we were able to take our broken crayons and make them whole again by melting them back together. We performed these magical crayon operations and restored our broken crayons and made them like new again. As silly as this seems, it's quite magical, really. This quote reminded me of that memory. You too can be magically fused back together if you work on yourself and ask your spiritual team to help. You are going to be whole once more. I promise. You still have to color this world, so get out there, you beautiful magical crayon. You've survived so far, and you will continue to survive. And not only will you survive, but you are going to thrive as well. Of course you are. You were not meant to live a sad and depressing life. You are meant to flourish. We are all here to live abundant lives full of love, magic, and you are so strong. Think of all the things you already made it through in the past. You survived many horrendous things in your life, like puberty, braces, your mom showing up to your school in her bathrobe. Well, maybe that was just me. Or that time you decided to put sun in your hair because your cousin wanted to lay out and get a tan and have blonde hair, which fried your hair and led to your two-tone hair color in the yearbook photo. I looked so hot. Maybe that was just me too. My point is that you can handle this. You've got this. So show some courage and stop whining. I meant that in the nicest way possible. You're going to be so awesome, and you don't even need two-tone hair or a tan for that. Life will go on, and you will love again. I promise you will. Things will seem more normal as time goes on. I know that may sound hard for you to believe right now, and I understand that. However, as the old saying goes, it's hard to see the forest for the trees. I really never understood that expression when I was younger, but now I realize the true meaning. It's hard to see past the pain when your divorce is so fresh, but there's a whole forest out there waiting for you. It might be hard for you to imagine another love and life out there for you, but it's a fact. The amazing thing about love is that it is never far away. It might feel as though it has faded for you momentarily, yet it is simply taking on a different form. It's changing for you right now. You may still love your ex, or you may hate him. That's your choice. I judge no one. But that love has to shift. It can't be the same kind of love that it once was. That hurts a lot to hear, and I sympathize with you. The important thing for you to remember is that even though you may not be feeling loved right now, love is always there. You will find it again. You have to believe that you are worth it, and you will be amazed at how love shows up for you. The thing we need to remember is that the most important love starts within us. So, there is something you need to do before you even start to think about finding love again. You have to take care of something even more important first. That thing is you. You are the most important thing right now. First and foremost, you have to take care of yourself. If you ever want someone else to love you, you have to love you. You have to love yourself so much that people may start giving you weird looks. Well, forget those people. They're jerks anyway. In this book, I will discuss how to love yourself and build your self-esteem. I also talk about getting out in the dating game again. Besides loving yourself and having high self-esteem, another key to seeking love again, and really everything as a single woman, and perhaps also mom, is finding balance in your life. Hell, life in general is about finding balance. Balance is critical. It's easy to allow life to wash over you like a tidal wave and leave you looking like a drowned rat. You can either choose to ride the wave, which can be totally fun, or you can let it sweep over you and knock you flat on your face, which is totally not fun. Plus, you will look like a drowned rat and have sand in your face, and how are you ever going to attract another partner if you look like that? It's not the most attractive look out there, sister. But seriously, do you want to know something outrageously cool? You can have it all if you want it. And you must want it, or why would you have spent money on this book? You could have bought several cartons of ice cream instead for when you're balled up on the couch in a fetal position crying your eyes out. I was just kidding. Don't do that. Remember, your friends will think you are a bummer. Please don't return this book to go get ice cream. Forget I mentioned ice cream. Where were we? Oh yeah. I have been where you are. I have stood where you stand. I've been in the trenches during the battle of divorce. I, too, have felt overwhelmed by life. I have had my share of face-in-the-sand moments. I have had to pick myself up, spit out the mouthful of sand, and walk my drowned rat-looking self back to the shoreline. There have been many times in my life when I wondered to myself, how did my life turn out like this? This is not at all how I imagined it would be. No one is ever going to love me again. No one plans to be a single parent. Well, maybe some people do, but those people are weird, so just forget about them. Becoming a single parent just happens. Life just happens. You're not alone in your situation. There are many others just like you. I will show you how to pick up the pieces and find peace and balance again. I will help you to avoid all of the mistakes that I have made, and there have been many. Hopefully, through humor and some fantastic advice, if I do say so myself, I can help you realize that it's going to be okay. You've got this. You're a rock star. Your life will go on, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so amazing that you will wonder why you ever cared about what's-his-face in the first place. You're going to look back at this time in your life as something minor that happened to you. It was just a little bump in the road of life. It's time to get excited. Just wait until you see your incredible new life. It's going to be so freaking awesome. Everyone is going to be so jealous of you, especially that obnoxious know-it-all friend of yours, Karen. Well, she can suck it because your life is going to get crazy good.